I'm Kathy Dahlquist.
Kevin Parker.
Bruce Danmeyer.
Susan Fagan.
Ann Rivers.
I was on the Puyallup School Board.
I was a 6th grade teacher.
I have kids, and really I cared about their education.
It's time to prioritize
Education in our state.
I think our forefathers understood that education is not only the foundation of our democracy, but it's the key to an opportunity of a better future for our citizens, and it's absolutely essential to our future economic prosperity.
As we look at the future of our economy and as we move to a knowledge-based and IT-based industry, not only in the state but frankly throughout the country, education plays probably a more vital role.
If we have the best teachers, no matter how long they've been at a school, in front of our students, students will learn best. They'll have a better environment.
We need our best teachers to be in the classrooms with some of our toughest kids. That's where their profession can yield the biggest results, not only for the child in that classroom, but for our state as a whole.
I remember Mrs. Brown, who took the time with a kid who others might have tossed aside, and she helped her fill out a college application. As a result, I graduated some 4 years later, and here I am today. So I'm a product of public schools. I believe in public schools, and I believe in the potential of every single student who attends public school.
I had a high school counselor that saw something in me before I saw something in myself and really set the vision for studying in college.
We need to focus on our early childhood education and our all-day kindergartens to make sure that students are truly prepared to learn by the time that they get to the 1st grade.
It starts early with their education.
I firmly believe that old adage that from 1st through 3rd grade you learn to read, from grades 4 and beyond you read to learn. That speaks to the importance of giving our kids a strong start in their education. And I believe we need to really focus on making sure that all kids enter 4th grade reading on grade level.
Washington has been an innovator in so many areas, and education should be no exception. We can't be afraid to look at what other states have done and see if those programs would work in Washington state.
I think there are many things that we can do and very important policy decisions that we can make that don't cost a lot of money. So they don't need to be restricted because of our current budget environment. A few examples include we need to get away from our outdated model of funding schools strictly based on how much time a student spends in a seat. It needs to be driven around, are we achieving? Is that student learning what they need to learn? We need to be looking at, are we using our existing money to greatest effect for students?
If we start to look at the way that students learn and we get away from our delivery model just being in brick and mortar establishments, we start to look at some online technologies and ways that children really learn, we can tailor our delivery mechanisms to them.
I immersed myself into my local school board, and what I learned there is that most of the decisions don't remain at the local level, they remain at the state level. Hence why I ran for state representative, because I cared about those education issues.
One problem that we really need to address is unfunded mandates in our schools. In meeting with administrators and teachers, it seems like we're piling on responsibility after responsibility. And the reality is that the more responsibility you apply with these mandates, the less seat time and learning time there is for our students. I think we need to take a hard look at getting rid of some of those mandates that maybe don't even do what they were intended to do.
Levy equalization is so important because what it does is it makes the equality between property-rich districts and property-poor districts equal. And that's exactly what it's doing. So it would be unfair to eliminate it.
Our schools and our school districts, our students, are very dependent upon levy equalization dollars to make sure that every child throughout the state, whether they live in Bellevue or whether they live in Albion, get a quality education.
We need to shoot high and expect good things for our students, and we need to create a system that delivers for them.
Students are the focus, not parents, not teachers, not administrators, but our students, that we are working hard to make sure that what we're doing for students is the very best, meaning we're keeping high accountability, we're measuring, we're keeping data, and we're holding people accountable for results.
the foundation that's laid in high school and the education beyond high school, be it an apprenticeship, a certificate program, a 2-year degree, or a 4-year degree, is much more important to get a family wage job, a job that will allow them to buy a home and have the kind of life that we all want them to have.
Our economic world is changing daily.
Our students need to be prepared to compete successfully
for the diverse economy that awaits them.